Shalom to everyone. Today's lesson is called The Bait. Thank the Most High for the Sabbath. I'm going to get into some information today that may be hard to digest, but just, hang on and, hopefully you all have a pen and paper. I'm going to get into this. I was going to get into some other information, but I thought I would just go by what was kind of like given to me earlier yesterday. I wanted to go into it yesterday. Earlier this Sabbath, during the end of Friday sundown or whatever, and I really didn't have all the information, and I strong-armed in the information, so I'm not going to even try to put that video up. So what I'm going to do today is use more scripture reference, to set the record straight, and it's called the bait for a reason. And this could link to the video that I made. It's called the snakes. I guess you can call this part 2. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4. All right, let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4. Second Corinthians 10 and 4 says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds." Verse 5 says, "Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringeth into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ." When it says casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalt itself against knowledge, that's very big to understand. And then it says, and bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Casting down imaginations and every high thing. So what these wicked people have done, and I'm going to get into Job 9:24 in a few minutes, their imagination is just like, the time of Nimrod when they built that Tower of Babel. We got to realize that they imagined to try to fight against the Most High. Of course, you can take this on an individual level as yourself to understand that you may have some strongholds based on, some people kind of direct stronghold as a real strong sin within your body, like a demon that causes you to continuously to, on a perpetual level, always constantly sinning. That's a stronghold. Smoking cigarettes, crack, but that's the surface information. What I'm going to get into is going to be just a little deeper than the face value information. When it says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal," there is a spiritual war. In war, doing war tactics, you have to camouflage yourself to fit in. I'm going to say that very clear. You're going to have to camouflage yourself to look just like your enemy. Christ did it when he sat with tax collectors. He came into evil, sinful flesh, even though he didn't commit sin. But he came into that evil, fleshly vessel to pull out those that want to follow him. That really corrupted Satan's plan. And it's still corrupting. It's just we don't really see the total results of it. So what I wanted to do in this video is really get into how we need to take real intelligent choices and strategically fight against Satan. Some people, like I said, may thumbs down this video when I'm done, but that's okay. This video is for those that are enlightened, and they will know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, it's called the bait for a reason. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3 verses 1 through 5, and I'll show you why. Genesis chapter 3 verses 1 through 5. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Now I just want you to bookmark in your mind, serpent. The reason why I'm going here, you'll find out. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods. You shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So of course the woman looked at it, saw it was good for food, so she started to lust based on the way it looked, and ooh, I want food, and but you had all this other stuff you was eating. So what I wanted to show in just those few scriptures is the serpent has always been used as a war tactic to come against man. I hope that's very clear. That is a weapon. The serpent has been used as a weapon to come against man. So that has never ever changed in this world from Adam's time to now. So if that never has changed, let's go to Isaiah chapter 45 verse 6, and I'm going to get to the point. This may not be a long video. I'm going to get to the point on why this video is called The Bait. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7. Isaiah 45 verse 7 says, I formed the light, so the Most High formed the light and created darkness. I make peace. So the Most High can create darkness and he can make peace, and created evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So he created good and evil in the tree of life all the way in Genesis. We're in Isaiah. Now a prophet is telling you the Most High has created this. But when you look at prophetic scriptures in Isaiah, Ezekiel, things of that nature, etc., it's prompting you on how or the reason why this is in play. And I like to always use, how would you know what is light if there's no darkness? How would you know if darkness is around if it's always light? You need to know both to create energy. You need to understand the negative terminal of a battery and the positive terminal of a battery to make energy. That's just the way it goes in this realm. So we have to follow the rules and regulations of this world. When people always just want to just stand out and stick like they're righteous and, oh yes, I am. Nah, because you're not in the war. You're playing. A true warrior will camouflage himself as evil. I'm going to say that one more time, because it may not have stuck in the first time. A true warrior, remember the weapons of our warfare. You are in war, folks. We are at war with Satan and his minions. These demons that are in office trying to kill everyone, poison everyone with chemtrails and sodium fluoride and all this mess. Lacing and coating the canned goods with BPA, bisphenol A, in the plastic. You are at war, but this is a spiritual war, because what happens is, and I know I'm a little going off because I like to talk about this stuff because it's very critical for us to understand. When they do these things, it lowers your levels of thinking. You become susceptible to a demonic force, and now you have a demon in you. Now you're wondering why you are a avatar for them. Okay, so what happens is you're gonna have to play the game. This is not checkers. This is chess. They are attacking the person's spirit because they know that's where behavior comes from. The mind, always trying to attack the brain to kind of try to control a person. So you play the game. You may, I'm gonna say it again, you may have to camouflage yourself. Camouflage means you're not part of it, but you're going to have to be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. What did the serpent do to Adam and Eve? Beguiled them, played a trick on them, lied to them, but told them some truth at the same time, baited them in with words, with goodly words. That's what Satan do. He was more subtle. He was smart. He was wise. The way he spoke to draw them in. That's what the army of the Most High through Christ is going to have to do too. Yes, that's what Christ did. That's what Paul did. He can go into any demographic of people and talk to them with a very prudent vernacular. Would come to them and speak to them and know how to talk to different demographic of people. When you just stick out like you're over righteous, yes, I am this, you need to come over here or you're going to hell. That's foolish. That's not wise at all. And I'm saying again, Christ spoke with tax collectors, and when he gathered his 12 disciples, they didn't know, they was regular people. He made Peter fishers of men. So he had to use certain terms that they would understand. Fishers of men, certain subliminal understanding. So the Most High formed these things, verse 7, and created darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. He created these things. So these things are created now. So we got to play the game. This is script. Sure. So we have to play out the script. So Satan used subtle ways. We can do the same thing. We become gods now. Not over the God of all gods, but since now we have the understanding of good and evil in us, there's a part of us that need to be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. Now, I'm going to show you some examples in scripture on what I'm talking about. Let's go to Genesis chapter 27. And I may have to read the whole chapter to get the total understanding. And I'm going to show you how wise Rebecca was. She didn't do anything. She didn't beat nobody in the head or anything. But she was very wise because she knew the outcome of Jacob and Esau. All right. Let's go to Genesis chapter 27. And I'm going to start at the first verse. And it says, and it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau, his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I. And he said, behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee, therefore the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats. I want y'all to really bookmark that in your mind. 2 good kids of the goats. Now, I'm going to prove that, if you don't know, that kids of the goats or any kid goat is considered a sin offering. And I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them. So this was considered a conspiracy. Rebekah conspired against Esau. Okay. Verse 14 says, And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hand, and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she gave prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may be blessed. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother's Esau's hand. So he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nation bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy brother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou comest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety. Subtle. But where did this subtle come from? Rebekah. Even though, and I'm going to stop here for a second, even though we understand that he went on with it, but he had to based on obedience. But it was both considered conspiring, and this is considered a sin. But we're going to find out how this was covered. Verse 35, And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessings. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me. So that's what it says. So, and he's rightly named Jacob, because he's supplanted. Because if you look up Jacob in Hebrew, in the Hebrew concordance, it's going to say supplant. Verse 36, And he said, It is not he rightly named Jacob, for he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. So when it says the dew of heaven, it's actually talking about that he's eventually is going to be able to, he's going to go into the rocks. All right, but that's another lesson. Verse 40 says, And by the sword shalt thou live. And the sword shalt thou live. Through war shalt thou live. Through being a cunning hunter shalt thou live, Esau. All right. And shalt thou serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. What people are in dominance today over governments, over all the wars? You shall have dominion, Europeans. Okay, I know exactly who you are. All right, so that's the reason why this is called bait, because I'll show you, and I'll go into more depth, the reason why I wanted to name it that. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So eventually, he will break the yoke off of Esau's neck. Off of Jacob's neck. All right. All right, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I say, slay my brother Jacob. So eventually, these two brothers right now are still fighting. Yin and a yang, which is black and white. Okay. See, the other nations know exactly the two people that has all the power. But the little brother Jacob, the so-called Negroes, the North American Indians, and all the 12 tribes of Israel, because we understand that Jacob's name was turned to Israel, it's a big war between these two. The Europeans and black people and the 12 tribes of Israel are brothers, and they hate each other. They don't like each other because we considered thieves and supplant. So that's why they always push, we're the thieves, especially the head tribe, Judah. They call us thieves. The head tribe, the kings. They always publicize a black man doing something evil or being a thief, but not telling you that the people that bring in the drugs are the true thieves. All right. So since we supplanted Esau, the Europeans, they supplanted us. But it was promised. Let me go, and I have some other scriptures, and I will, matter of fact, let me not jump too far. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 16, verse 5. Because we need to understand the template of the two kids of the goats. That's the reason why in verse 9, Genesis chapter 27, verse 9, Rebekah said, Get two kids of the goats. Verse 9 says, Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat of thy father, such as he loveth. Because she committed this sin and caused her son to commit sin. Thus, that's the reason why she said 2 kids of the goats. Good represents perfect in the Hebrew. All right. That's the template in Genesis of the law. That's how do we know this? Let's go to Leviticus chapter 16, verse 15. Leviticus chapter 16, verse 5, excuse me. Leviticus chapter 16, Leviticus chapter 16, verse 5. And he shall take of the congregation of the children of Israel 2 kids of the goats for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering. There's more evidence, of course, when you read Numbers chapter 7, verses 87. It goes into the 2 kids of the goats and certain other burnt offerings. So you can read that on your own time. I don't want to make the video but so long. Now, We understand that there was some wisdom involved with Rebecca. She knew from the beginning. Let me get that information before people kind of like, well, he was a deceiver and all that, because I had to go here first to understand what we need to do. And some of us probably have forgotten how to play this war, to be in this war that we're in spiritually. All right, let's go to Genesis chapter 25 verses 19 through 23. Genesis 25 verses 19 through 23. And these are the generations of Isaac. Abraham's son Abraham begat Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padarama, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So it was already prophesied. The Most High himself prophesied and spoke to Rebekah to let her know that the eldest child, which is Esau, will serve the younger child, which is Jacob. And then there's another thing that's going around talking about that, and I heard this, Esau is Hebrew. No, that's false doctrine, and that's blasphemy. He is not Hebrew at all, because it says very clear, 2 nations, 2 different nationalities of people are in thy womb. I don't care if we do come out the same womb. Yes, we do have the same skeletal as the Europeans. The 12 tribes of Israel got the same type skeletal, because the other nations, their heads are a little different. You could tell if you look at a full-fledged Hamitic Morocco, from someone from Africa, their heads are a little bigger in spots. Okay, but if you look at a European head, if you take a black man and a white man, put them together, their skeletals, they both bald. Their skeletals almost are the same. That's been proven. They got archaeology and all that. That's why they can play us in the land of Israel today. But they threw off the colors. They got people psychologically. That's bait. They use subtle tactics. So it's time for us, the children of Israel, to use subtle tactics in a righteous way. How do we know we can use subtle tactics in this war? Let's go to Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. This ain't no game here. Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as a serpent. Now, why is Christ using this example as a parable? Wise as a serpent. Because the serpent from the beginning beguiled Eve. So now you have to become as wise as this beguiling spirit. Now you need to understand how you need to be wise and camouflage yourself to fit in, to take down this whole evil plan that Satan has put into momentum. They showed us in movies when you send undercover agents in an organization of drugs to take down that organization. You have to understand in the operation. Even though they showed in the movie, it's just a movie, he was almost in too deep because he got almost caught up with the money. So you can't be weak-minded, of course, because if you're going to play this righteous game, this spiritual game, you better play it right. That's the reason why. Bait people that want to act like they want to be cool with you. Then okay, bait them. If they don't go for the bait, then okay, then you're cool with me. And when I say bait, it's not something you try to put something there for someone to trip and fall over to break their neck. No, it is spiritual. If someone say they're your friend and they buddies with you, they cool with you, okay, let's see. You make up your own ideas on that. You'll find out. That's what I'm talking about. This is not checkers, and I'm gonna just use those lower terms. This is a chess match. This is a spiritual chess match. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. That's 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. All right, let's go to and I'm going to elaborate a little. I'm going to go back because some people have been thrown off thinking that Esau is Hebrew. No, he's not. All right. Let's go to Luke chapter 3, verse 35 through 38, so I can knock that out real quick, because that's just false. I don't know how people come up with that. Luke chapter 3, verse 38. To be Hebrew, you got to come from the seed of Peleg through Eber. Now I'm about to read it. You don't see nothing about no Esau or none of that coming from that. Luke chapter 3, verses 35 through 38. And it says, which was the sons, and I'm just going to start right in the middle. Of course, you can read the genealogies of Yeshai, but I'm just want to start where it talks and speaks exactly about what I'm talking about today. Verse 33, which was the son of Amminadab, which was the son of Ram, which was the son of Hezron, which was the son of Pharez, which was the son of Judah, which was the son of Jacob, which was the son of Isaac, which was the son of Abraham, which was the son of Tever, which was the son of Nahor, which was the son of Serug, which was the son of Rehuel, even though it's a little different here, but it's Ruhiel, which was the son of Peleg, which was the son of Eber. I don't see anything about no Esau, none of that. Which was the son of Silah. Okay. And it goes down and you can read the rest, but the last verse says, which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of God. Now, of course, he is in the lineage of Adam and Eve, but to say that he's Hebrew, no, he has to come from the seed of Peleg through Eber. Eber is Hebrew. That name was changed. So that's false, because it says easily, two nations, two nationalities of people are in thy womb. That doesn't make him Hebrew. Now, let me finish the lesson. All right, now, Job chapter 9, verse 24. Job 9, verse 24. And as I turn, I want to say this quickly. Sometimes you're going to have to fit in and look like look like the world, to fit in, to grab those that are in the world sinning, to get them out of there. We are at war. I can't say that, emphasize that more enough. Job chapter 9, verse 24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. This means the earth has been given into the hands of serpents. Serpents will beguile you. They will try to trick you and lure you in to lure you to sleep, to be deceptive. It's your turn to be wise as a serpent, but harmless, and bait them in. Show that you can, okay, you want to be an agent and watch me? Okay, I'm going to be an agent and watch you. No, I'm watching you now. You watching me, I'm watching you. The earth has been given in the hands of the wicked, and he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You can't tell where he is. And I mean, the son of perdition, where is he? He's a government. The same people that's mad at Jacob from the beginning, the Edomites, aka Romans, Greeks, people in Poland and Jewish and all these, yes, the Germans and all these people, yes, they're mad at your black behind and all the other 12 tribes of Israel, because they more mad at Judah because he's the king and they know that, so they're gonna push him down lower than, except they really are dealing with the people of the law, the Haitians, aka Levites, the tribe of Levi. That's why they over there eat dirt, mud cookies and all that. So we got to realize that if we're going to be in this world, we got to fit in. That doesn't mean you have to be in sin. You can look like you sin. That's what Christ looked, just like a regular man. He looked exactly like a regular man. He felt just like a regular man. He came into sinful flesh, but he wasn't. But he wasn't. He came as his brethren. So if you want to take down Satan's operation, you want to take down his operation, you got to get inside of his operation. Every time something happened in the world, the Most High sent a perfect person. Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Ezekiel, Job. I mean, I can go on and on. Samuel, Jeremiah, Haggai, the 12 disciples, less Judas Iscariot, but Paul took his spot because Paul seen Christ at Damascus as a bright light that represents Christ. He is the light of the world. So, like I said, some people may not be able to digest this, but you're going to have to be wise as a serpent. And what I wanted to show, and harmless as a dove, and what I wanted to show is when you read about what Rebecca did, because she knew from the jump in Genesis 25 verses 19 through 23, she knew that the younger kid was chosen from the beginning. That's why it says that Isaac loved Esau, but Rebecca loved Jacob. She knew from the beginning. You know, Isaac was at the time of his death. He was so close to death. His eyes was dim. He could still talk a little bit, but he was, you know, I guess the world would call him as having Alzheimer's, but he was just getting old. And his eyes was dim, he couldn't see as good. So it was already chosen from the beginning. Some people would say, yeah, he was the deceiver. Nah, what happened was his mom, Rebecca, was wise as the serpent from the beginning that beguiled Eve. So she got his behind back, generations down. And that's what we got to look at it. So when people say, man, that's evil, you shouldn't do that, you lied, you did, nah, I'm playing a game, a righteous game. I'm being wise, okay? Somebody want to come against me, and I know that's what you want to do. I'm not going to move. I'm not scared of you, okay? I know there's a brick wall in back of me, and I know I'm fast enough to move if you want to take your car and try to hit me with it. So I'm going to wait till you get close enough and move out the way, and you're going to go flying out the front window and crack your head. That's up to you. I've warned you over and over, and I'm just giving out some examples, and that's how we have to take it. So some people think they winning, and you know, have gossiping, and you think you got me, and I've talked about you, and you don't know what's going on. Nah. Oh, he laughing. He don't really know that we talking about. I can play just like everything. You know, I'm just playing you, just like you playing me, but in a good way, because I'm not going to bust you upside your head. Hopefully you'll get it, and you've been made, and you know, hopefully you'll come to the true knowledge. So I can laugh like everything is fine. Yeah. No, I'm not laughing. You are a snake, and I know it. Okay? That's how we have to take it. You know, if you know somebody is trying to, dog you out, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. So hopefully that spirit, eventually, when a person know that you have baited them, okay, they'll leave you alone. Be nice and kind to them. Don't care about what they're dealing with. They done stole from you. I'm just giving out an example. They may have stole from you. That's cool. Hey, brother, come on in. It's okay. That's cool. But in the background, pray for these people. Hopefully they come out of that, because we've all have done things that's evil. But don't let a person just take over. So you have to be wise. And certain things, somebody, you know they're a thief. They're going to go get drugs or whatever. I'm just saying, if you really, really know a person asks you for some money and they're going to go get drugs, and you got $100, say you ain't got it. It's not for you. I don't have it. It ain't saying that you don't have it. I don't have it to give to you, because you're going to take it and use it to kill yourself. So that's not a lie. So what serpents do, when we saw Esau, what he was going to do is just give his birthright. He sold his birthright for a morsel of meat. So, and he's up there complaining about his brother. No, you are a serpent. You are a snake today, and you have beguiled our people. And your time is up, Esau. Okay, and that's cool, because they have it, so we don't even have to watch them per se. We have to watch. They hire our knucklehead people that don't have no common sense, that's in darkness, that want money. They feeding off the crumbs, so they need more crumbs. You pay them more money, they'll watch the black behind too. Oh, so it's not even, you got more Judas Iscariots in your household than regular people. So I'm not even worried about the Europeans right now. I have to worry about my own people. Just on a lower level, dealing with the world and drugs and all that. Most drug dealers that got it and making money and all that, the people of jealousy will kill you, which is your own. It happens. We're our own worst enemy, killing each other off in the streets, bashing each other in churches. Y'all little Christian churches y'all go to, singing and praising and all that. Then all of a sudden they turn around and talk about the woman behind the pulpit or something. The choirs be talking about people looking at them. What she got on over there? Then smile and shake their hand afterwards. You are a serpent, a devil. That's what I'm talking about. So you play the game too. I'm gonna smile, but I ain't gonna talk about you. Okay, bless you. Hopefully you come out of your demonic spirits. And if they don't, eventually the Most High take them down anyway. I know a story right now that'll really trip you out. There was a person that was talking bad about a preacher, even though the preacher was dealing with just the Christian doctrine, but he was a good, I've heard that he was a very good person. He did well, he do good. Some of our people are in ignorance, not knowing, but they still have that zeal. And, this is a good guy. And, there was a woman just got up in front of the church and just started blasting them out. And after service, fell down the stairs and just about broke both of her legs. Yeah, that happens, because it's evil from the jump to in front of a bunch of people try to blast someone. So you people that like to blast people all on the internet and all that, okay. Somebody do that to me, all right, I'll smile at them and still call them and ain't got no problem with you. And say, hey, I can play the game. Oh yeah, yeah, you're evil. I'm not laughing. I'm just playing. You want to play? Okay, I got game. But it's being wise, as it says in Matthew 10, verse 16, wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. There you have it. There you have it. Like I said, some people may balk on this, but it's okay, because you have to be able to camouflage yourself. A chameleon, like an animal, like a small little reptile that know how to manipulate colors to fit in, so he can look like whatever piece of surface he's on. How do you think you will win? If you're strong enough and you want to go into some club and try to witness to some people, don't go in there with a suit and tie on. You look stupid. Go in there and look just like you about to go dance. But don't dance and come in there with the Bible and open it and say, hey, I'm in here with you. I still love you. If, I want you to come to Christ, just go to some people. Yeah, you can do it. Why not? If you come in there looking like you all holier than thou and all that, that's what the Pharisees and scribes were doing. Christ came just like his brother, and he looked just as like an ordinary person, didn't have a place to lay his head. So he came as the lowest you can think of, someone that don't have nothing to show you that I receive you too. So there's no excuse. If you don't have a home, you still can come to Christ, because Christ didn't sit on no high thrones. That's why he did it that way. He camouflaged himself. All right, I'm gone. You all have a blessed Sabbath. This is my life, and I will be doing this for the rest of it. Shalom.